Everybody, today I have with me Sergeant Riley Keller and Specialist Aaron Sleeman. I'm going to be asking them a few questions just about what they're doing. They are currently deployed in the Middle East, and so I'm just going to be asking them about what it's like and how the Army has been treating them. They're both in the Army National Guard, and so my questions are going to be all based off of that. So how long have you guys been in for?
Personally, about a year and 7 months. I joined back in February 28th, 2018.
I'm coming up on April, will be 5 years. Joined 2016.
That's awesome. Thank you, guys. What are some things that you guys like to do outside of the Army? Like, what are some of your guys' hobbies?
In the Army, I like to disc golf, hunt, fish, hang out with family. My friends are a big one. We like to go and do lots of fun things.
That's awesome.
For me, ever since I joined the Army, I've been gone for the majority of the past year and 7 months I've been in, so I really haven't had a chance to continue with the hobbies that I have been doing. But usually my hobby just consists of spending a lot of time with my family, friends, and then just raising my kids. So
How many kids do you have?
I've got two. I had one back in high school. And then I just had another one this past May that I had yet to meet.
Oh, that's sad to hear. What are your guys' hometowns like? Like, where are you guys both from?
I'm from Battle Creek, Michigan. It's a pretty large community. We have about 4 schools in the district. Lots of good people. Kellogg's is right in town, so it always smells like cereal. But lots of fun things to do. We got rivers to float, lakes to fish on.
Me, from homeboy Zeeland, Michigan. All you guys obviously go to Zeeland West or Zeeland East, so you guys know what the city's like. Got the Holland State Park just to the west. Yeah, not much more you can say. You guys all grew up there and are living there right now, so.
So speaking of your guys' hometowns, assuming that your family still lives there, how is your family doing? Like, since you guys are gone?
My families are doing really good. I've always kind of been like on my own type of person. So when I left for basic training, they missed me and stuff, but they never worried too much. I got a girlfriend back home, and it was kind of hard for her the first couple months when I left. But now that she kind of knows the situation and how things are going, she's been doing really good, and everybody's well taken care of. So there's no major issues back at home with anybody worrying too much. But we have our days when we miss them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My family, on the other hand, I don't know. How are you, Carly? Are you doing good?
I'm great, Aaron.
That's good. So my family's doing well, obviously. My parents, sisters doing well. My wife, she's doing well. Kids are healthy, playing around, love playing outside during the summer. So, yeah, everything's good back home. Yeah, just like Riley said, we have days where we wish we were back home playing with them and experiencing what everyone else back home is experiencing, and we're able to go through life together through this COVID thing rather than our families back home go through it by themselves. So there's a downside, but at the same time, I think being here has benefited both of us because a lot of people during that COVID time had to shut down work, they were just living off of what they had. Unlike us, we continued to work, bring in a paycheck, so that way we still had our family back home that was able to have a healthy balance while we were here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can definitely tell you guys that we all miss you very much, and we were happy that you guys were safe. So with COVID, how has it really impacted you guys? I know that you are still working, but are you able to share with us what you guys are doing?
At first when we left, COVID just hit us. So we were down in Fort Bliss, and it was kind of like Yeah, keep a mask on you. And if someone tells you to put it on, put it on. So we were just like, all right, whatever. Yeah, we can work with that. From there, it kind of like escalated to be like anytime you step outside your room, your building, you have to have a mask on, no matter where you're going, no matter what you're doing. If you're working out, mask on. So like we even had at one point where the building we were living in, there was like a roll of engineer tape around the whole building, and we could not go outside that engineer tape. Like we were strictly to that cube that we were living in. We were there. From Fort Bliss, we moved to Fort Polk, in Louisiana. We were in Fort Polk. It was mask, eye pro, so clear eyeglasses or sunglasses and gloves, and you had to wear those three everywhere you went for a whole month.
Oh wow.
There, we went to Qatar, where COVID rules were a little less. They were a little. They weren't as strict. Like when we would walk to places, we didn't wear a mask. When we were in the gym, you had to have a mask on, but when you were in the middle of working out, you could take your mask off, and then right when you were done with your set, you put your mask back on. So it was super lenient on what we were able to do, but it's definitely gotten better than when we first left. Where we're at right now, we have to wear masks everywhere we go. That's not really much to ask. That's kind of just like the new normal now.
Yeah, Aaron kind of pretty much nailed it there. It's been kind of a pain wearing a mask, but like for instance, a lot of the facilities everywhere we went were shut down. So a lot of guys here like to work out, and like here where we're at now, they only allow 10 people in the gym at a time. For instance, some other places the gym wasn't even open, or the chow hall wasn't even open. So we were always eating out of Mermites. Like chow was getting brought to us. So it's been a pain. Not really much more to say about COVID. It is what it is. Everybody back home has kind of experienced it.
Yeah, and with that, like we've gone for almost 7 months now, and we've only had access to an actual like weight room facility for 2 months. And everywhere we went, there was a gym, but it was closed. So we were just doing prison workouts, I guess you'd say, like makeshift pull-up bar. You find a big rock outside, hold it above your head, throw it around. There's a whole bunch of random stuff. And like even with that, like a lot of the stuff here, everywhere you go, there's limited amount of people that are allowed to go into that building. Besides for like the chow hall, the dining facility, that's really just a free for all, which I'm okay with.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely restricted us from doing a lot. I think if COVID weren't around, we would be in a different location than we are right now. But because of COVID, we are where we're at. So nothing we can do. It's out of our control. We can only control what we can we can only control what we can control.
So like with that, then you guys have been for sure spending a lot of time with each other. Have you guys formed like some really good friendships with each other? Because I know that you guys are definitely spending, especially you two, are with each other a lot. But are you guys able to spend time with other people, I guess you could say?
Yeah. So what's cool about the National Guard is you have your friends. Like when you only drill 3 days out of the month, you don't really get to meet people like you do, but you don't know them as well as you really do know them because you only see them that 3 or 4 times out of the month. But coming to something like this where you're around the same group of guys every day, you get to know them in and out, like pretty much everything about them, where they're from, like just everything you could think of. So a lot of the COVID restrictions, like were in, like for instance, back at Fort Bliss, there was called your bubble, so your squad. So you could pretty much be you didn't have to maintain 6 feet within your squad. So like you had that 9-man, 10-man bubble that you could move with. So pretty much those same guys were always living in the same area, doing everything together. So like you were always around them. So you got to know the guys that are in your company really well. There's other people out there, but there's just so many people that you only take the time to really kind of, pay attention to the ones that are with you every day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like back off that, like Riley, he didn't come into our squad until like our second or third month gone, like from when we left, and I really didn't know him at all. And now, a couple months later, here we are, and we're rooming with each other. So
Yep, just like brothers, punching each other,
making fun of each other.
doing it all.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome though that you guys are definitely getting closer and that you're forming that friendship. Do you think that like outside of the army that you guys would hang out after this, or do you think that some of these friendships are just like a short time thing?
I mean,
Oh,
when I get back, I I'm not gonna want to see a couple. Like I'm not gonna want to see him for a couple weeks just because I've been with them every day for the past year. So it's like, I need a little break, spend some time with my family, my friends back home. And then when we get back into things, yeah, for sure, I'll definitely try and reach out and hang out with them. Like I know already, a couple of us, like 8 of us, are planning to go bear hunting up in Canada. So that's a thing that we've already set in stone for when we get back to do. So definitely being here has strengthened friendships, got you to know people and get to know them, their family, hobbies, something that you wouldn't really get to know about someone unless you really took time and wanted to get to know them.
yeah. So like with the army, you form a brotherhood that like really can't be broken. You meet people from, like, for instance, basic training. You meet people from all around the world that come to one spot, and they're all living in the same area, showering in the same area, eating in the same area for a couple months. So out of that, you get the couple, like, few people that you really talk to afterwards. But then you get to your unit and you go to drills, and then you got those people that are kind of like you, that like to work out, have interest in the same thing. And then you get to like a deployment where you're around everybody, and you learn about them in and out. So like there's certain people that you get tired and annoyed of, but there's certain people that you'll want to hang out for the rest of your life. And being in the National Guard, everybody is from all around the state, so it's not necessarily like an everyday, hey, do you want to go to the bar, you want to go fishing every day. It's more or less like maybe a weekend thing, or every now and then like getting with a group of guys because they might live 2-3 hours away. So yeah, it's definitely pretty cool, having a building a friendship. But you can get sick and tired of somebody being around them for quite a while, but it is what it is.
Hmm. Yeah, I was told that sometimes that you guys can handle like disagreements with a little bit of violence. Do you guys do that there too? Or is that like just a rookie thing?
Not really, just because we're all together. Like, there's no reason for it. Um, Obviously, we're an infantry battalion, so that like alpha mentality is usually a little bit higher up there because we all just want to be in charge, and we all just want to be like, yep, I'm the alpha, I'm in charge. And then someone else comes and is like, nope, I am. And then butt heads, and sometimes it can spiral out of control, but we really haven't had any problems since we left, just because there's no need for it.
Usually everybody just squashes that stuff and it's taken care of.
Yeah, the biggest thing is, though, it's like you don't want to beat up on your own guys. It's like if another unit was to come and try and start something with us, like we'd finish that. But it's not something we're going to go out of our way and try and figure something. Like we're not going to go out of our way and try and find a problem.
Because with it being
Mm-hmm.
also 12, 13-month deployment, you still you do something 4 or 5 months in, you still have 7, 8 months around the dude. So it's all about
Mm-hmm.
squashing at the higher level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good mentality. So was is the army pretty much what you guys expected it to be, or is it different? Because I know COVID definitely has impacted what has happened, but like the mental side of it, is it what you expected it to be or no?
I mean, when I joined the army, you go through basic training, you shoot every weapon, you do a lot of cool stuff, and especially being infantry, you get a lot of knowledge. And then when you go to your units and stuff, you're you're always kind of doing the same thing, but you're training to maintain like perfection in what you're training for. So it's all that I expected. I've shot almost every weapon there is in the military. I've flown in helicopters, airplanes. Like Air Force airplanes, done a bunch of cool stuff, traveled all, like, I've been here for 4 years and I've been to 6, 7 different states for schools and training and, 3 different countries. So it's a pretty cool experience. So I'd say, it's everything that I could, I've lived up to so far just for the 4 or 5 years that I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
I piggyback off that, like, yeah, basic training, you learn the basics on how to manipulate every weapon system, and then you get into your unit and it's fine-tuning all those details so that way when it does come to actually do your job, you're professional at it. But honestly, for me, I didn't really have an expectation when I joined the Army. I didn't know what to expect, so I kind of joined and was just like, let's see where this takes me. And ever since I like made that jump of faith, like to go and raise my right hand and join the Army, I haven't really regretted it. I really haven't done a whole lot with my unit because I got there in September and we left in March. And most of the time I was with them, it was getting all of our paperwork ready so that way we could leave in March to go do our training to get deployed to where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm. So hearing that, would you guys like recommend the Army to other people, or is it just like, I don't know?
I mean,
that's what I'm gonna tell anyone, like, hey, come join. It's gonna be the best decision of your life. Like, yeah, if you want to, like, if whoever's watching this wants more information on it from someone who's not gonna feed them like incorrect information, like, yeah, you can talk to me if you want to, but I want to be straightforward with you. Like, there's times where you're in where it's just like, yeah, this is super cool. I'm like, there's not many people that are able to do something that we do. Like, for one instance, him and I are on a gun team together. When we were in Fort Polk, I was up on a machine gun and shot 1,500 rounds in a matter of 7 minutes.
Well, I'm driving a Humvee around.
Yeah, well, he's just bebopping around in a truck. I'm just on top, just getting it. So
yeah, so it kind of all depends, if you go active duty or National Guard. It depends on where you get put, like your MOS, what you decide to do in the military. It's great for college. If you want to go to college, it'll be paid for. You get great benefits if you decide to do 20 years. But it has its ups and downs. I've loved every bit of the military, but it's not something I want to do for the rest of my life, and I got other plans that I want to do. So there's times where you hate it, but there's times where you feel like you're doing, having fun with your brothers and doing this for the country.
Yeah.
Of course. I hope you guys have a very safe rest of your deployment and you return home safely, and just keep living it up over